So my name is Arun. I have like 9+ years of experience in different versions of AX. So 2009, 2012, and now it's called like Dynamics 365 for Finance. So I have worked on many of the customizations uh, and again integrations related to Dynamics 365 with the other third-party apps and integrations, and also worked on upgrades like coming from upgrading the 2012 to the latest ERP Dynamics 365 FO. So that's all about me. So altogether, so the the main reason why we have come together today is like to know about, I mean, how the ERP is booming in the market, and how the businesses are managed using a software called ERP. So we might have heard this term many a times in our day-to-day life. So as we are all kind of technical jargon people. So like basically ERP, we might have heard this word, and we might have also known the ERP is like enterprise resource planning. So basically, why exactly we need enterprise resource planning? So let me explain you like say for example, uh, in our day-to-day life at our home. Take an example like there will be income coming for us. So whether it's via a salary or some business or some things that we take over at home. And obviously there will be some certain expenses we need to take care at our home, like paying the bills or taking care of any other things, etc. Okay. And then at the end of the day or end of the month, then we come to a conclusion like so which income got uh, got into our home. I mean, whether the everything income what we supposed to get did that complete, and what are all the other expenses we have made, and where we can reduce that. And this kind of little planning at home makes us, either managing or controlling our expenditure there, so that that will be help us in saving a little in our day-to-day life. So here there won't be much applications or something required, so we can make Excel as a tool, or we can even a small paper, and with the ink we can make that things happen. So how about if we come to a big organizations? So there will be many kind of departments, right? So if we have to, or if the organization or a business have to talk, can you all guys hear me? Yeah, coming back to why we use that ERP, it's like say, if we take the household example, that will be a pretty easy, and we can able to manage without any issues by using the simple tools and just a white paper or some ink. So, and if we come to the big business things, so there will be a lot of departments, and there will be a lot of cash coming in, cash going out through expense, and that will be paying whether it's belonging to some vendors what the business has tied up. So, and there will be a kind of recruiting the people to do your job, or there will be a certain kind of invoice generated from your system that what you a service provided for your vendor and all. So all these have to be maintained, and all these have to be managed, and it cannot, can be possible. It can't be possible using just an Excel tool or a white paper. We cannot track each and every thing there if it's come to an organization. So that's why we have ERP solutions. So there are many kind of ERP solutions available in the market. There are a lot of players who provide this kind of service, and this will help us in saving a lot of time and effort in tracking the things what we have. Say the 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 income to the organization, or the expenses of the organization. So if any organization is dealing with across the country, or above the or like international, they go beyond that, so they can keep a track of each and everything across the regional specific transactions as well. So having this, each and every department wise data, so that will help us the managerial people to make decisions based on the accuracy of the data provided by the tool here, by the ERP. That could be like any ERP. So the main goal for the ERP is to maintain and gather the information across the departments, and that will facilitate the organization or its management to make certain decisions. So how the things going on, and where the order what been placed by the customer, or where what we have requested from the vendor, how the status is. So these kind of specific details the organization and management can get to know using this beautiful tool called ERP. And by using a certain kind of a business, or the type of business you are in, there are a kind of specific industry and the implementation specific ERP types are also available in the market. So industry specific, like as we have no there are a lot of industries in the market, like say apparel. So they have their own specific ERP customized for that. Whether it's if you take a big apparel like a H&M, or some other Reliance, or you name it, how the market is regarding the apparel. So they have their own ERP, so that they can keep on track their sales. They can keep on track on how the packages and the orders are coming into their stores, and they will consolidate it all together by end of the day or quarterly. That's again depends on their business practices and all. And we have also like automotive industry. So they will be having their own ERP software developed for their own purposes, and that will help them to identify what kind of prospect came in, how the quotation given to the customer whenever they order a vehicle, whether it's be a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, so that they will keep a track of that, and they will keep get to know how many there in the inventory too, so that they can really commit to the customer that they can deliver the vehicles as per promise to the customer. So similarly, we have like many other industries like construction, manufacturing. They have their own ERP, and they will be using as per their business needs. So coming to the implementation specific is like we have like on-premise ERPs. So where we have to install the app in the machines, or on these devices, where the ARP is getting used to, so that that can be managed only through that specific machines. Okay, and we also have a cloud-based ERP, so which is Dynamics 365 now. What we are looking at. So this will enable us to access the real-time data as long as we have internet. Okay, so that's the main advantage of what the cloud-based implemented ERP will be having. So on the go, we can place an order, or on the go we can check the status of whatever department is looking for. And we also have a hybrid ERP where they can implement at the on-premise or the cloud-based. Yeah. So we have now know like why what is like ERP and why we use ERP and all. So then, so why we are choosing the Dynamics 365 FO? So why we have choose our path to path to come into Dynamics 365 FO, specifically to say why this particular ERP. As we all know, can someone help me? What are all the ERP products that we have available in the market?
SAP,
Good. And any other ERP?
Arc Labs.
Excellent.
JD
Any other?
Edwards, I heard JD Edwards as well.
Okay. See, that means there are a lot of specific ERPs that are available in the market, and we have chosen this particular Microsoft ERP Dynamics 365. Why? So because, so let me know so why we are good to choose this. So one major thing is like easy to learn. Easy to learn. How can I say that is easy to learn? Number one, because we have been, I don't know, so most of been using the Microsoft products like Windows. So we are all familiarized, how we use it, how the the application, sorry, file explorer works. So you have, I mean, we have also known like many other shortcut keys like click on the Windows key, hit the Windows key, you'll get a file explorer. Okay, Alt F, you'll get a file option. What you have in the application open. Okay, so similar, even the Dynamics 365 will also look like a similar to that. So considering these kind of things, that is very easy to learn. And similarly, like other programming languages, if at all anyone have already uh, known about like C, Java, the OOPS. So even whatever the X++ language what we use to develop in the Dynamics 365 ERP. So X++ is the programming language what we use. So if we know already the OOPS concept, then it will be very easy to learn this particular X++ language as well. So considering these points and the way user interface and the way uh, techni- technical consultant, learning about the language, so this is very easy to learn. And also, Microsoft is having their own, umbrella of products like, one, this is a F&O, and the other one is called Business Central, so which is we call it as a BC. That will be used based on the scale of the type of industry the business is there. So if it's like small scale or to the mid level scale industry, they will be dealing only with the transaction like account payable, account receivable, these kind of only finance related modules. So the product provided by Microsoft BC will be suffice the situations for the customer. If they are using beyond those departments like human resources and general ledger, these kind of things. So obviously, the best match for the customer or that business would be like a Dynamics 365. So there's been a lot of boom and a lot of things happening at the Microsoft to develop this Dynamics 365 FO, and most of the industries are even thinking of someone said like a SAP. The first thing whenever we heard about ERP SAP, so uh, most of the companies are even thinking about like migrate from SAP to Dynamics is why because of the cost involved in the implementation from this Dynamics 365 and this app. Say why that much cost. So just to give you a rough example, say if it's like to implement a medium level scale industry, if the company want to implement an SAP, it may take around 1 or 2 million, for suppose. Okay, so if I come to want to choose and implement using the Dynamics 365 Finance, so that will be costing me around like I don't know, like 60,000 or something. So at least some 30 to 40%, the cost implementation variation will be there compared to SAP and the Dynamics 365. And the other advantages what we have is like we'll be using Visual Studio for programming, which will be having Dynamics 365 DLL attached to that for the Express Plus programming. And the DB and the database, whatever using behind the ERP is like SQL, which are all most of us have been already familiarized with these tools. And the other important thing is like if we want to integrate something, everything and all, and we are lucky to have the Office 365 coming along with this particular package. So the other mail integration or some other file integration made our life easy. So, and of course, there are many other third-party integrations can also be done through this. Yeah, I'm just naming a few, advantages why we can, choose this Dynamics 365 for. And there are, Power Platform applications used for integration to integrate the other third party integration. There are many connectors available in the Power Platform. So these are like just a few things that we can, come and choose why this has to be done. I mean, having said the other ERPs available in the market. And one more thing is like it will support like around 48 to 52 global languages. This particular product, I mean, that can be accessed with their own regional languages. Among the 48 or 52 languages, multi languages. So these are all the things we have in the Dynamics 365 ERP. And coming to our course or the session, what we will be dealing across this course will be like under the basics, we'll be covering on architecture and the difference between the architectures of the previous version AX2012 and Dynamics 365 FO, the latest one. So what are all being changed architecturally, and it was a 3-tier architecture in the previous version. Now it is been cloud architecture, and how the things been changed while implementing that, and what are the tools we can use while working on the DT4, the tools like Visual Studio and the SQL, the Azure Cloud Base, the LCS tool, what we have. And we'll be dealing on the folder structure, how the files will be saved whenever we create an object in this by using the Visual Studio tools and the EDTs, enums, and all. So if you are already have familiar with the other OOPs and other any other programming language like the EDTs, enums, like we can leverage these EDTs and enums in our customizations and all the tables and relations, classes. These classes and these are like regular OOPS concepts, so we can cover that. And forms and form patterns, these are like new when we compare it to the previous version of the AX2012. So we have a lot of improvements. There are a lot of improvements made by Microsoft when it came to forms and all. So using the form patterns, we can able to design the proper form what we can see actually developed by Microsoft. That will there will be no difference whether you have created or customized the form or is it coming from the Microsoft. So by using the predefined form patterns, we can design different and as well. So these are all the things that will be covered in the basics part. And of course, for each and every section, what we have, there will be assignments given, and we will be, helping out whether you guys can able to do or you guys are, getting any hurdle in completing or finding it difficult. Or, so we will be helping there through proper validations of your assignments. And all. So coming to the advanced topic is like the customization extensions are like very beautiful concepts that we have to take care in this particular version of the AX Dynamics 365. So initially we used to in AX2012 like there were direct customizing the standard objects coming from the standard itself. So now that's not the case, and we have to every customization or every new field or a thing you add to the standard object that should be done through extensions. That we will be dealing that, and the customizations like as I said, apart from the extensions and all. So how we can customize the standard thing as per the customer requirement when we receive from the customer. So even handlers, models and packages. So initially weren't they weren't any models concept. So due to these extensions and all, so Microsoft come up with another key concept of models, so that we can have our own models to customize specific to customer or specific to certain requirement what we get, and that can be deployed to packages through packages to other systems. And coming to the code comparison tools, like it will be having a like if you have already certain development done. So if you want to import some other code, so you can have tools like code comparison where you can compare the existing code to whatever you are trying to import now. So if you feel that's okay to have the latest version or the existing version, so with the help of that comparison tool, you can decide and implement or import the things you require. Model deployments and packages deployments like again that. will be covered in the advanced topic, and the other OData services, like how we can expose this particular D365 data to other third-party applications, how it can be. So, what are all the things we need to have before exposing the data to other third-party things? And sys operation batch framework, so we don't have to trigger a particular process manually if it's a recurring thing. So we do have a beautiful framework classes designed by the Microsoft, where we can make use of the existing framework, and we will be customizing the framework so that we can trigger a particular process automatically as per schedule. So it will trigger on its own as uh, you schedule, like whether it's a weekly, daily, every 10 minutes, as per the requirement. And last thing but not the least, like Ssrs reports. So we will be having mainly as a SSRS report can be developed within Dynamics 365 There are no other kind of reports, and we also have a Power BI reports. Power BI reports, again, the product of Microsoft. So we can expose the data to the Power BI, how we connect using the OData connection there, and we can leverage the data into the Power BI report to provide a very awesome graphical representation of the data. So that will help us, or the manager or the customer side, to have a handy and decision making data available, can be represented graphically. So these things can be covered in the advanced way of course, and this will be like your overview of the topics, and overview of the things can be covered during these sessions. Okay. So having said that, the plan and the topics what we have. So what I can get by the end of the training. So as we said, so we came here to learn about the technical concept and the technical way to deal the D365 for ERP. So by the end of the training, we are very comfortable in customizing any standard object, whether it's like say few like adding a new fields to the table, and getting those new fields as per the requirement, and getting that showing in the forms. And we will be well versed with the extensions and all, how we can extend an object, how we can extend a form, everything, if it's coming to the extension part. And batch processing, as I said, so batch processing, we do have a run-based batch, which is not now in use, but that will be covered. And again, the sys operation framework classes, using that we can get a hands-on on the batch processing things. So chain of commands will be again a kind of an extension concept that you will get well familiarized by the end of the training. And we have also the other tools called debugging and the metadata search, where we can keep a trace of each and every step of the process whenever a certain thing be triggered. So how we dig into the process by tracing each and every step, that will be covered in the debugging. And the metadata search is like we can refer to the existing standard code, and whether we can make use of that particular piece of existing logic in our customizations and all. And coming to the integrations part, so there are many other integrations involved. So we mostly deal with file-based related, like reading an Excel or XML file and getting the data, and how we can uh, insert that read records into the D365 related tables. So that's how the integrations will go. And this is all about the summary of this particular demo. If you have any questions, you can shoot me.
Hi, Arun.
Hey.
Yeah, so do we get any sandbox access or something for practice, or how it's going to work for any for
Yeah,
practicing?
that was a good question. And yeah, we do have some demo. I hope you guys can still see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah, if that's so you'll be seeing the Visual Studio now. This is a demo environment provided by the Microsoft itself. We can have this link and we can leverage this, demo lab, which stays for around 2 hours, so that we can have this for practice or build the course here.
So okay, so this can be used only for 2 hours.
Yes, that stays only for 2 hours. And you
Okay,
guys
so
can again log in, and that session will again stays for 2 more hours. So every 2 hours, the session will get killed, and the data what you will created will get swiped, clean. Every time you
okay.
log in.
So is the session is always this time?
We can access the session anytime we want, but only thing we need to keep in mind is like it will be valid only for 2 hours.
Okay. I mean, how about the regular live session just like this? Is it going to be this time?
Because we will be having, we have to buy the services, and that will be costing. Or the other thing is we can have a on-premise, uh, the DT5 installed in our own machine. So
I have a free account for the Dynamic 365 account, but for some reason I couldn't just log it in creating this service.
okay. Yeah, we can still use that as well.
One more question is how long it's going to take, and the other one is in what day, how many hours, and in what time? Is it the time is always like this time?
Maybe a couple of hours early, like
Okay.
here it's like 10,
Okay.
so maybe 8 a.m., a couple of hours early.
Yeah, this time for me, this already mid time pass. So if it is can be like just got 8 or 7:38 your time, maybe work.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So Arun, will we be given some documents or something for during the course?
Yeah, during the course, so as soon as we cover certain section of the thing, so we'll be providing you the reference materials along with the assignments.
Okay.
Is it going to be every day or what day? And so according to so we can plan and we can be ready
Yeah,
for that.
mostly it's going to be only on the weekdays, so Monday through Friday, and
Uh-huh.
mostly like 1 hour, and it depends on the flow we are
Mhm.
on that day. So that may extend 15 to 20 minutes thereafter. So
So
uh,
how
it will
many
take
sessions?
around like 45 to 50 sessions.
Okay. All right.
That's how it's going to be.
Mr. Arun, hello.
Yes, sir.
Is this required to OPS concept? Is it mandatory?
I'm sorry, I didn't get you.
Is it required OPS concept?
Yes,
Oops.
yes, it's definitely based on the OOPS concept.
Because of I don't have knowledge in programming.
But that's still okay. That's why we are here to help you on, finding it easy in programming. That's why the course is about.
Is there any classes for a separate in OPS concept?
Yeah, that will be covered during the course.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
What do you mean by power apps exactly?
So Powerapps is like another service provided by Microsoft. So that will be used especially for integrating many other third-party systems, whether it's via Dynamics 365 or any SQL. You can talk to many DBs at a time using that tool. So all you need to have the proper connectors and proper credentials to connect.
Do we need to learn that also?
Not required actually. So if your business require that, and if the client is already using certain integrations, so we need to decide whether that integration can be done through Power Apps or some other means. So this is
Okay.
purely about the Dynamics 365 for technical. So we will be dealing with the X++ programming languages and concept of OOPS and how we will get into customizations if as per the requirement and what are all the basic things and this how the course will go. Any more questions?
This functional will be different, Dynamics 365 Finance, or is it the same?
No, the functional will be different. This is for technical. So
Oh,
functional will be knowing about the product and knowing about the exact features what coming from the DD5. This is like knowing about how you customize the things.
okay. So function module don't require this coding knowledge.
Uh, in a way, yes. So functional people not required this thing.
Okay. And how are the opportunities? Whether freshers will be taken or how it would be?
Yeah, there's been a lot of boom, and this particular market is not yet saturated, so there's a lot of opportunities there.
Freshers will be considered or only experienced?
freshers also be considered.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is technical is a back end and the functional is a front end? We can say that.
Yeah, kind of, yes. So you'll be customizing the things and you'll be knowing about how the process is happening. So that's a technical. And if you come to the front end, so you'll just click on that. So we will expect to complete a certain process by clicking on that. So you don't know what's happening. So if you are a technical, you'll get to know why, where exactly the things are getting happen. So that's a technical.
So through the way we can just pick it up technical as well, right? No, I mean functional as well, right? Whatever we just developing and creating a table, views, all any the customizing the modules at the back end from Visual Studio the way you set it up from this environment right now. When you get it into publish or just deploy that at the front end. Anyway, we have to test it and check it at the uh, front, right? Which is functional. We have to know that as well, right?
Exactly. We will be having at least a basic idea on the functional front as well, because so we should know where to access, right? So we should navigate
Mhm.
to that particular point where the process will get triggered. Say, for example, if I have to access the customers, at least I should have know. I go to the AR module and click on the customers, something like that. So the minimum knowledge should be have at least to navigate to that particular place where the process will be initiated.
Okay, okay. That's good.
Sarun, in this demo environment, suppose if you are trying to create one field in this demo environment, so we can run that project and see in the front end also, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So you need to customize that. You need to build that to reflect the changes, and then refresh the page, and you will good to see the changes.
Okay,
Surface.
Okay.
one more thing on that as well. So in the front end functionality. We can do GUI graphical user interface on the front end. Can whatever we doing, we can do the same thing by from the back end, right? By the technical, we can we can do that the same thing by, for example, creating something and modifying by functionality area when we do the functional the front.
Here, two things. If you want to change, say, for example, the form or adding a new field to that, yes, you can do that. And as we said, like if you build and that gets succeeded, you can see that changes. So either the thing what you have asked.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, then.
Yeah, I have one more question, Arun. I'm from MBA background, BCom and MBA. For
Okay.
me, functional would be apt rather than this technical, I guess.
So it again depends on individual interest. So there is nothing hard rule or thumb rule to for MBA background to go with you know functional only. So it's again personal interest or the things you feel excited while you're learning the concepts. So
Because
again depends.
I don't have any idea about this programming. I don't know anything about that. That's why.
Exactly. That's why this course is all about. So it will help make you, comfortable dealing with the programming language. Okay. We have a contact number placed in the chat box. So for any more details, you can feel free to reach that particular number.
So, will this course highlights any like deployments through LCS database movement operations, taking the service update from Microsoft and applying to dev environments and doing the custom packages? Is there any direction towards that, like
So
LCS?
basically, see, LCS tool, we have to buy or we need to have that Azure services procured. So currently, so most of us, we don't be having Azure services procured for the training purposes. So we can at least give you a outlook how it looks, the portal looks, the deployments and all that will be done at real time, real projects. So we need to have a project created. We need to have UAT and a prod. So we have to set up all these things. So obviously for the training purposes, we won't be having all the Azure services, right? So So we can
Okay,
guide you with the steps like having the reference documents and all how it works, but not to that extent taking the deployable package, deploying to the other environments and all.
okay, okay.
Okay, thank you guys. You guys have a nice rest of the day.